hope you guys are doing well. And I know some of you may have tuned in to our pre-show at, I don't know, about 4 hours ago, where we were testing this new camera and system. So we've got kind of...
You do look very skinny.
You know, see? So yeah, this camera is... I don't know, the way it's oriented, it's a little bit different than the iPad. Anyway, hopefully our broadcast at 2 o'clock seemed to go okay. And we, so now we are working the same system with a camera and a capture card and a laptop. And yeah, Vicky's getting all high tech. So hopefully we'll get this all straightened out. Anyway, I want to share some stuff with you guys tonight. We got people coming in? Good. Excellent. Good. So hopefully the sound is good. The picture is at least adequate. We are wearing new shirts that we got.
Wait, I gotta...
Vicky wants to come over here for a second, I think. So...
I'm gonna zoom in on your shirt.
Okay.
So...
Bull sent us some shirts. So Bull had t-shirts made up and sent us some matching shirts. So very cool. Thank you, Bull. Thank you, Tab. I'm sure you had something to do with it too. Extra piece of candy coming in your next order, I'm sure. Anyway, thanks so much, you guys. We love them. Great shirts. I love black and red, you know. Two of my favorite colors together. All right, so the other night I showed that dashboard that I made, and I finally I found out what vehicle that is. A 1930 Ford Model A pickup, roadster pickup, and so that was really cool. And I actually have some more pictures that I took it over the next day after I showed you guys. And so I'm going to show you some pictures of Kenny, who is putting this car together. So here's the dashboard that I made with the gauges. Now this car that he's building is all going to have a musical theme. So everything on the car...
Let's see if I can get those...
Well, I've got a close-up of this. Yeah. So let me show you the next picture. These gauges are so cool. He had these gauges special made. And everything is a musical theme. So it's actually going to be like a mixing board in the back with, gosh, all kinds of strobe lights. And it's just going to be amazing. So I was honored that Kenny asked me to help him with the dashboard part. And there's probably something else I'm going to do on there too. This is Kenny, and this is the car. Kenny Earls is his name, right here in Golden Valley. This is kind of a backup view of the car, of that 1930 Ford Model A.
Okay.
And then he's building another car altogether. This one is going to be called, I think it's themed, the Munsters. So any of you that are our age or older, you'll remember the Munsters. And he's making a Grandpa Munsters mobile, basically. And this is how it's starting out. And he built the frame, like literally from the frame up. And everything is going to be...
I'm going to get that front bumper. Look at that front bumper.
Yeah. And then there's a bat on the radiator. There's a little kind of a bat on the radiator. And then I got one more picture from the back side of the same vehicle, which is really cool. So Kenny just does some amazing stuff. He builds all kinds of really neat hot rods. He's a hot rodder from way back. And the way I met him actually is my grandson, Eric, our grandson, was part of his keeping hot rodding alive here in Golden Valley. And he brings students in and teaches them all about automotive stuff and just basic automotive stuff, but also fabrication and everything. They built their own car that went to SEMA a couple years ago, and then they auctioned it off. Anyway, so I thank Kenny for, and Kenny's done some work for me on my old Chevy pickup as well. But I'm going to be making the dashboard for that Munster's, Grandpa Munster's vehicle as well. I think it's Grandpa Munster's mobile laboratory or something. Anyway, Kenny's he does some really amazing stuff.
Kenny records his very fun work, Mr. Kenny.
Yeah, he does some really, really cool stuff.
So you guys, it looks like the picture's a little bit fuzzy, but that's because it's going through a capture card, and our internet is so slow, it's just a little fuzzy, but everything else seems so much better. I love it.
Good. Yeah.
Somebody says we're getting all technical on them.
So it looks good when you do the zoom in thing?
Zoom
Excellent.
real good, yeah.
Good. Good. All right. So tonight I want to talk about router maintenance. And this actually was a question or a comment that I got from Charlie. And we've done some of this in the past, but I wanted to do that's all I'm going to work on tonight. It really is just router maintenance. So I'm going to set up some routers here, and I'm going to show you the difference in some of these.
Morris says best reference for the picture quality, look at Eric's glasses. I guess you can see your reflection in your glasses.
Oh.
Zoom is phenomenal. Picture is fine at my end, and sound is great. Looks good to me. The sound is awesome. Barely have my volume turned up. Yay.
Good. That's great news. All right, so
we're using our new camera, and we're going through the capture card into the laptop, so it's really cool.
So this is kind of the setup that we're going to have on our Zoom. Our Zoom class workshop, which is first one's on Saturday. So I've got 4 routers here. And I want to go over 4 or 5 things that you guys will want to just kind of keep in mind and think about on a regular basis. Just periodically, you want to just check certain things out on these routers. So we've got a Bosch 125, the Rigid 2401, the Bauer trim, and the 611. So kind of these are my Fab 4 here. Anyway, so the first thing that you want to do on a regular basis, take your air gun and blow out in here, because this thing, as these routers move, as they're running, they pull in air from the top and then they blow it out the bottom. Well, when they pull in air from the top, if there's sawdust flying around, sawdust can get down under that cap. So you just want to blow that thing out on a regular.
Terry Lambert says, if we guess which one you used last, can we have them?
No.
You're welcome, Andy.
That's a nice try, though. Nice try. So yeah, you just want to blow these things out on a regular basis. That's just a good practice. The second thing that you want to do, let me grab this one.
Can I read this? And I'm sorry, I'm terrible with interrupting. Scott Morris says, I read this neat trick for cleaning the collet. This guy uses a brass brush used to clean a gun barrel. He uses a 22 caliber barrel brush and runs it through the collet.
Yep.
Cleans it right out.
And so that is exactly what my next thing was, is these collets. Now, some of these collets, they'll have the nut and the actual collet itself like locked together. This one doesn't. Some of the more inexpensive routers, I think the DeWalt does. Some of the less expensive routers, they come separate like this. So what you want to do, just like Scott was saying, get in here and clean this thing out once in a while, blow it out, and then make sure that surface, I haven't cleaned these, that's the reason I kind of left them. Get in here and clean these out, and I do have a video that I talked about this. But what happens is this collet rides in a taper on the inside of this armature, and as this pushes in, that's what clamps down on the bit, in case you didn't know that. So definitely take that thing out once in a while, clean it out, brass brush, just like Scott was saying, blow it out, throw a drop of oil on right on this surface or on this surface, and just move it around. It's a good idea. You would think that oil would cause it to slip, but exactly the opposite is true. So you want to make sure that those surfaces have a really good match to them. So that's the second thing on any of these routers. Yeah.
No, first of all, no, Tessa, I didn't. He's now bothering somebody else. Patrick Stiltner says the 600 doesn't have a backside collet port. It needs cleaning more than most.
A backside collet port. The which one? Which router?
The 600. DeWalt 600.
The 600. That's the battery powered one. I was going to bring that one in, but I didn't. I wanted to bring just the standard ones. But that's interesting. I didn't know that, but that's always, you know, more cleaning is better than less. So yeah, clean your collets out, guys, on a regular basis. It just makes sense. It's just a good idea. The next thing is the brushes. Now on the brushes, you'll have like these two routers. This is access to the brushes area. So the brushes are two carbon filters in here, or filters, two carbon pieces that are on the end of a little spring-loaded deal, a little spring. I'm trying to do this backwards. So there's a carbon, the little piece of carbon in there. Now, here's the thing: is once this thing starts running, these carbon filter, or these carbon pieces, I don't know why I keep saying filters, ride on the top of the armature. If you take this thing out and you put it back in, make sure to put it in exactly the same way. You can see I'm being very purposeful and not turning that thing over. I'm going to put it back in exactly the way it was, because it seats at the top of that armature. And I'm sure that there are electrical people that know way more than I do when it comes to this stuff. But there's actually, I should have one. Dang, that doesn't go in there very easy. Yeah, there we go. There's what we used to do every time we put in a new set of brushes, we used to put a seating stick in there. I think they call them a seating stick. You definitely want to make sure to do not cross thread these things. So always back that off till you feel it click a little bit, and have those threads. See how that did that? Now I know that thing is not going to cross thread.
Hi, Tom Watson.
And do not tighten those too tight. They're just in there just to compress that spring. So that is the first way to check your brushes on these. That brush looked fine, and I check these on a regular basis. So that's another thing that you want to do is the brushes. Now, on these other two routers, the brushes are contained underneath the cap, so they don't have an access port on the outside. So what you have to do, and you can go watch a video that Dad did, number 208, about changing brushes. So I'm just going to take the cap off of this Bosch. And this, in essence, it's just like,
zoom in on
yeah, it's just like the like what the DeWalt looks like underneath. It's like a little spring deal here, and the egg, I can't see it from there, but down here, this spring has a little surface that is pushing in on the brush that keeps it flat on that armature. So that's how you would check the brushes on there. I'm not going to do it here. You can go watch number 208, and Dad will show you exactly how to do that. But basically, you just have to be really careful that that spring doesn't let loose on you. You've got to pull that out, put something across there. Number 208, Dad does a really good job on that, showing you how to do that. But that's where the brushes are there. You have to get under this cap, and you might as well blow this out. You can see I've got some sawdust going on right around this switch. Might as well blow that out while you've got that cap, carefully, of course. Anyway, and that's how, in essence, this is exactly, or really, really close to the same thing that the DeWalt has underneath its cap. But it's fairly easy to do. It's a little more difficult than the other two. That's tight. But this both really good routers. These tend to be a little bit more expensive. I think this is the 2401's $100 router. This is like a $79 router, and these are both up over 100. I think this one goes generally for around 140 regular price. I'm not sure on the 125. This is the 125 Bosch, which is the newest version. It's a 3-hole, I think. Yeah, it's 3-hole. Whereas the old Bosch Colt, there's actually 3 versions of the Bosch Colt. This is the newest version. They'll probably have another one of these days. But so that was the next. That one's pretty important. If something happens and your router's not running right, brushes is kind of the first thing you want to check. So the last thing that I want to talk about is the let's see, I'm gonna get this one off the table, is the actual clamp, the housing clamp. So what can happen here is let's see, you'll see each one of these is different.
Okay, don't move it.
Yeah, huh?
Don't move it.
Each
I
one
love
of
this zoom.
Each one of these is different. So what this does right here, this is a little set screw that as you put a little Allen head wrench in there and you tighten that up, it pushes this thing out. So this affects how tight the housing clamps down on the router motor itself. So this one over here is a little bit different. This one, you want to check this little nut right there. So as you loosen that, it'll loosen that housing more. As you tighten it down, it makes this clamp thing, this little lever, clamp down even tighter. So you want to pay attention to that. They generally don't move very much, but every once in a while, if you find that it doesn't feel like your router motor is tight in your housing, it generally has to do with that adjustment right there. And then the rigid is different. This one is completely different. This Bosch Colt here, this one there's not much you can do about it. This is just kind of a switch, a 3-position switch in order to tighten that down. That one, there's not really much you can do about that as far as I know.
Frank Jenkins says, tell Eric to clip his fingernail. That is a great, clear, zoomed picture.
Okay, you got it, Frank. All right, so let's see, what else? Yeah, the only other thing, the last point that I'm going to make is back in the old days, back when we used nothing but Black & Deckers, and this was way back, like in the 70s and 80s, maybe 90s, but 70s and 80s for sure. The routers were fairly expensive back then, and they were all full-size routers, of course. They didn't even make trim routers back then, not that I know of. And we would rebuild them. We literally would buy bearings, we would buy armatures, we would buy fans, we would buy the brushes. We would rebuild these things. These days, they're pretty much a throwaway deal. These little routers are built really well, but I don't know that I would go through the hassle of rebuilding these things anymore. I think they're pretty much, disposable from a fact. If you replace the brushes and if you take care of them, they'll last for a long time. The brush is about the only maintenance, really replaceable maintenance that we do on these things. You can get it, your collet and your nut probably will never go bad. I have seen collets split every once in a while, but man, I haven't seen that in years. So that's pretty much it, guys. These things are really, really low maintenance. It's just kind of common sense what you want to keep track of on these. It's not that it certainly doesn't take an engineering degree to figure these things out on how to keep them running and lessen or extend the life of them and lessen the chance that something's going to go wrong.
Okay, Andy Littleton says, Eric, have you ever routed the jerky, that jerky or surges a little as it's running? Have you ever had a router that's jerky or surges a little as it's running? Have replaced the brushes, think maybe it's the bearings.
That could be it sounds like the bearings. Yeah, it really does. It sounds like the bearings, or I won't say it's a switch, because the switch, generally the switch either works or it doesn't. But I have seen switches over the years that start going bad and they kind of lose their connection. So it's possible it's the switch, but it doesn't sound like it. It sounds more like it's bearings. Or it could be that the brushes aren't, they're not seated right. Like, well, I could go into it, but as I was looking at I think I was looking at the Bauer earlier. When you take this out and you look down in that hole, there's something at the top of the armature called a commutator, and it's a bunch of magnets with little lines in between them. And sometimes those things start to go bad. And if you take that brush out and you spin this by hand, just turn it real slowly and make a full revolution. Look at all those lines in between those little brass pieces in there, and once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they're little brass bars with a line in between them.
Bunch more questions.
And so look at those and make sure that those are all even and none of them are burnt, or some of those lines could get big in between those gaps. Could be bigger, and that's telling you that your armature is going out.
All right, Frank says, Eric, what kind of life are you getting out of your fairly light batteries? Mine are only lasting about 3 hours with intermittent usage.
Really? On the fairy lights? No, I get more than that. They tend, lately they've been tending to kind of blink out a little bit, but I think I'm getting a lot more than 3 hours. It's tough because I got so many routers. I use different routers, so that's interesting, Frank. I hadn't run across that. But that could be.
Tessa said, one time you showed cleaning out the hole where the bit goes in.
Yep.
With some Q-tips and some kind of liquid. Do you still recommend that?
Yes, absolutely. Now that liquid is like a cleaning liquid. It was a cleaning solution that a guy that makes collets sent me. But yeah, I still recommend that. You can just... But here's the thing, you don't necessarily have to do that. You could take a Q-tip and, and put it in there and just move it around. You don't have to turn it on the way I did on that video.
Josh Knudsen says, how do you get sharp, tight points for your fine work? Fine details.
I generally, if I want inside sharp points, I generally either pull the router in, if I'm carving, either gradually drop in and move as I'm doing it, or I'll lift out like that. So if I want real sharp points like the middle of an A and I want a sharp point at the top, I will start here, start to drop in, and then come into full depth. Or I go the opposite way. That's the way I do it. Same thing on inset apostrophes. I just automatically do an inset apostrophe, and as I'm doing that tail, I pull it out like that, and it puts that sharp point on it. That's the way I do it. Okay. Sign carvers of the day. Wow. Glad I didn't have a second question. I got really windy on that one.
Rigoberto says, Eric, I sent you an email on the new bit for all flat bottoms without changing bits. I don't know.
I'll take a look, Rigoberto. I don't remember seeing it as of now. If you sent it within the last couple hours, I haven't checked. I'll check it out, Rigoberto. Okay. Jaden, 8 years old. This is John Hall's grandson. And he made this for his dad, who is a firefighter. Is that cool or what? 8 years old and he's carving signs. Love it. Congratulations, Jaden. Good job, John. Dave Jackson. Dave,
Matt, yes, we did, Matt. They'll go back out tomorrow.
Dave Jackson actually came by the house the other day. He lives only about 45 minutes from our place and came out, and we had a great visit. Really good guy. Lives in Valley Vista. And great job, Dave. Great work for your first sign. Love it.
Oh, yep. We got shirts from Bull today.
We did.
Yeah. Matt Bay just came on. He's late to the show.
Paul Kempsky. And really neat piece of artwork here. Nice color. Great job. Looks like it's done on piece of pine, or that could be even panel board. I can't tell from the back side. Yep, piece of pine it looks like. Oh, let me turn these. And Jim Arabito, his very first sign.
Oh,
very cool. Very cool. I like it.
Hi,
Love
Bert.
that artwork. Great job, Jim. Very first sign. Jim Symington. That's our buddy that's down in Mexico right now. He was, we had him on a Zoom a few weeks ago. And he made this for his daughter for her birthday. Love it. He's got some access to some really cool boards down there. Really neat woods. Great job, Jim. Paul Troublefield, second sign. Made this for his sister. Cool idea. I love it. Great job, Paul. That's a great idea. Really a neat design. Love it. Scott Baldwin for his wife.
I like that.
For his wife for Valentine's Day. How cool is that? Really a neat design. I've never seen that one before. That one's really neat. Love it.
Oh, awesome. Good job, Jeff.
Great job, Scott.
Justin called and asked about the seals for the critter sprayer I sent him.
Oh, the silicone seals. Dave Leisure, very first sign. Nicely done, Dave. Good job, man. Hope you're having fun. Keep it up, buddy. Andy Walker. Look at that. That thing is so cool. It looks like oak. I don't know that it is, but it looks like oak. But I love the way he went really deep around here and just cut that all out. I just think that looks so cool. That really is a neat piece. Great job, Andy.
Yes, Frank, I did.
George Pastrick made this for his study. The old Redskins logo, which I like. But that's just me. Anyway, great job, George. So he made this for himself for in his study. Nice clock there. Great job, you guys. So that's the sign carvers of the day. This is Thursday, which means tomorrow night we will be going live on YouTube right here. No, not right here. With this setup, we're going to try this setup on YouTube tomorrow night. So Dad will be here. We'll have, I've got a couple things I want to go over. We've got some giveaways, a couple of giveaways. We've been inundated with giveaway stuff lately. Yeah, people donating stuff. So we've got some really great giveaways tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning is our Zoom call with a very special guest. We just had so much fun with this lady. I think you guys will fall in love with her just the way we did. Just an amazing story and just an amazing lady. She's just amazing. So anyway, I think you guys will like that. And then Saturday morning, remember guys, Vicki and I will not be live Saturday morning here on Facebook because we will be in the middle of doing our Zoom group coaching class starting this Saturday, 9 a.m. So for the next 6 Saturdays, we won't be on our regular live. We will resume probably after that, after the Zoom workshops are over. So anyway, that is it, guys.
Say happy birthday to Scott. Today's Scott's birthday.
Scott Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday, Scott. I'm glad we got on for your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. Hope you're doing well down there. Hope the flea market's doing well for you.
John Hall says, thank you for showing Jaden's picture. He's going to be excited when I tell him.
Please tell Jaden I said congratulations. That's awesome. I love to see early sign carvers.
Oh, goodness. What's his name? I can't remember who it was. Hold on.
Uh-oh. You got a question or a comment?
Comment.
I'll take a drink. I'm getting dry here.
Oh, Jason Harrison?
Jason Harrison?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was, yeah, Jason Harrison he said he got his package today. It took 9.5 days.
Actually, that's not bad for where he's at. it was taking more than that right here in the States.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you got it, Jason. That's terrific. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. If you have any questions, please email me. I'll put my board up here. And there's the Starbond discount code. I haven't wiped that off of there.
Zoom again. Hold on.
Vicky loves using that Zoom. So Eric at makeawoodsign.com. If you have questions, that's the best way to get me a message, guys. Messages through Facebook, I don't always see them through Facebook or Instagram. So my email, direct email, I spend a lot of time in there answering questions. So please email me directly. If you guys have projects that you want to send me to show on Sign Carvers of the Day, that's the email to send them to me. If you send them to me on Facebook, I probably won't be able to get them because it's a kind of a hassle to get them all switched over. So
Matt said, love the 1/8" spiral.
good. I'm glad you like it, Matt. I'm digging that thing. I'm going to use it more and more. I've got an idea for a couple things I want to do with it. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please give us some thumbs up and likes and shares and all that stuff. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please comment in the YouTube comments.
Greg said, Queen Zoom loves her new camera.
Yep, she does. So
Jason says, still justifying the order to the wife, then I'll order the critter sprayer. Okay.
We got it for you when you're ready, Jason.
Hi, Chad. He just popped in and we're going to go bye-bye.
Chad Benton? Hey, Chad. Okay, you guys, that's it. We're out of here. We will see you guys tomorrow night and over on YouTube. And then I hope you guys have a great weekend. And we will be back live after that. We'll be back live on Tuesday, right back here. So have a great weekend, everyone, if we don't see you beforehand. Thanks again. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.